These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. And challenging our resident quiz champions today are Route 1 from Wakefield. Now, this team of old footballing friends say that they've built up quite a reputation for winning their local pub quizzes. How they'll do in the big league, only time will tell. Let's meet them.
I'm James, I'm a software engineer.
Hi, I'm Jordan, I'm a managed service coordinator.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm a technical author.
I'm Will, I'm a customer service manager.
Hi, I'm Kyle, I work in compliance.
So, James, team, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Don't be worried about this lot. They're playing, I don't know, what kind of football formation are they playing?
Five at the back, yeah.
Flat back 5, yeah. 3-1-1. So you were a 5-a-side team, basically?
Yeah, well, 6-a-side.
6-a-side, but quizzing as well?
Yeah.
Perfect combination. So I'm assuming, hoping that sport comes up today.
Well, actually, a few of us are, a few of us aren't.
Right. And who was the striker and who was the goalkeeper? And do you still remember your positions when you used to play?
Jordan was in net.
That's why we don't play.
OK, let's go for it. Every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Route 1, the Eggheads have won the last 2 games, which means £3,000 says you can't beat them today. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah.
First subject for you is geography. Now, who would like this? Who knows their way around?
Will or James, do you think, for geography?
Yeah, I'd say Will or James.
I will sacrifice myself for geography.
I'm from geography either.
Yeah.
So, quite well travelled, I guess. Yeah, I am. Yeah. So,
OK, it doesn't sound that confident here, but who are you going for?
I've heard Lisa. Oh, Joe.
Joe's going to have a go.
Joe, all right, because you're well-travelled.
Someone say yeah, maybe.
Against which Egghead? Who looks like they've never been out of the country, or even maybe the studio?
I've heard Lisa struggles with geography. She said it, but I don't know if it's a ploy. But
there are many ploys from Lisa.
I think you can take whoever you want, Joe.
Yeah. Go against Lisa.
Right, so Joe from Route 1 versus Lisa from the Eggheads to start us off. And just to make sure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room. So, would you like to go first or second on geography, Joe?
I'll go first, please.
Here we go. What is the name of the official residence of the Mayor of Paris? Is it the Hotel de Ville, Hotel Paradiso, or Hotel Babylon?
OK. Well, I think one of those is an old TV show that I seem to remember watching. I think that might be Hotel Babylon. I think it could be Hotel de Ville.
And Hotel de Ville is quite right. Well done. Great job, Mayor of Paris. Lisa, your question. The Komandorski, or Commander Islands, are located in which body of water? Gulf of Mexico, English Channel, or Bering Sea?
Oh, you know how much I love questions about islands and bodies of water. Purely from the name, we'll go with the Bering Sea.
And Bering Sea is right. Very good. Over to you, Joe. The Oromo people are an ethnic group living on which continent? Africa, Asia, or North America? Oromo is O-R-O-M-O, the Oromo people.
It sounds North American. It sounds like it could be sort of a Native American tribe, but again, it could be Africa as well. So I guess I'm kind of ruling out Asia. I think I'm going to go for Africa.
Yes, Africa is right. Well done. Lisa, your question. Potosi, which is on the UNESCO World Heritage List, is a city in which country? Is it Bolivia, Peru, or Uruguay? Potosi, P-O-T-O-S-I.
Now, I wouldn't claim to know this because of geography-related reasons. I think they might have been there in an episode of Top Gear. I think it might be Bolivia.
You're a Top Gear viewer, are you?
Occasionally.
Uh-huh. Bolivia is the right answer. OK, Joe, your question, third question. Get this right, put some pressure on Lisa. Here we go. The River Nene flows out into which body of water? Now, Nene is spelled N-E-N-E. Is it the Irish Sea, North Sea, or Bristol Channel?
Right, OK. Probably UK geography is probably the worst bit of my geographical knowledge, actually. The Nene, I don't know. It sounds maybe Irish. I hope that hasn't offended any Irish people, but I think I'll say Irish Sea.
It's the North Sea. So Lisa has a chance to take the round. Lisa, your question. The Italian Mediterranean city of San Remo has famously hosted what sort of annual festival since 1951? Theatre, film, or music?
Now, what is the festival related to? Now, if Kevin's gone purple, then it's film. And if CJ's gone purple, it's probably theatre. You don't look very purple, Jeremy, so I might rule out music. I think it's between theatre and film. I can't remember which one. I'll go with film.
It's interesting logic. So if we were looking like we were going to get a bit cross with your answer, we... Yeah, and funny enough, you ruled out the right one straight away. It's music.
Ah, gutted. Never mind.
So 2 out of 3 for you both. We go to sudden death, Joe, OK? It gets a little bit harder because I don't give you alternative answers. Limburgish is a language spoken principally on which continent?
I'm trying to rule out a few of them. Probably isn't sort of African or Asian. I'd say Europe.
Europe is the right answer. Lisa, if you get this question wrong, you've lost the head-to-head. What state lies directly south of Australia's Northern Territory?
I think Queensland is... I'll say Queensland.
South Australia is the answer.
Oh.
So well done, Joe. How about that? Put the ball in the net, you're in the final round. And Lisa's been knocked out. Early days, but the Eggheads have started badly. What's going to happen next? Do both of you return to us? We'll find out. Well, what a start. Route 1 have not lost a brain, and the Eggheads have lost Lisa. The next subject for you is politics. What sort of a sigh is that?
It's a sigh because we couldn't decide who was going to do it.
I thought maybe it was expectation.
It's a
relief for me.
Yeah, relief for Joe, but who would like it?
Between me and you, Jordan.
Come on, Kyle, you've got an
I'll do it.
politics.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
OK, Kyle, against whom?
I think...
Anyone but Lisa.
Tough one.
Yeah. I'll take on Dave.
All right, Kyle from Route 1, Dave from the Eggheads on politics. Just to ensure there's no conferring, please go to the question room. OK, Kyle, you're up against Dave here. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Would you like to go first or second on politics?
I'll go first, please.
Here is your question. In which year was the politician George Galloway born? 1934, 1954, or 1974?
OK. Well, I think 74 is too late, so I'm going to rule that one out. Also, I think 34 is too early for him as well, so I'm going to go for 1954.
And 1954 is quite right. Well done. Dave, your question. Under whom did Roy Hattersley serve as deputy leader of the Labour Party? Was it Stanley Baldwin, Neil Kinnock, or Gordon Brown?
They've done well to have served under Stanley Baldwin, seeing as he was a Conservative. It's a bit too... Gordon Brown's a bit too late. It was under Neil Kinnock in the 80s.
It was indeed Neil Kinnock. You're right. So, back to you. Kyle, who became MP for Sheffield Hallam in 2005? Is it David Cameron, Nick Clegg, or Ed Miliband?
Well, I'm from Yorkshire, so I should know it. I'm not 100% certain. I know Nick Clegg is from Sheffield, and he has represented Sheffield. I don't think it's David Cameron. I don't think it's Ed Miliband either. Based on Nick Clegg being from Sheffield, I'm going to go for Nick Clegg.
Nick Clegg is the right answer. So it's down the road from you, or...?
Not far away.
You're Wakefield?
We're Wakefield, so it's just south, about 50 minutes drive.
OK. Back to you, Dave. Which US politician was fatally wounded by Sirhan on June the 5th, 1968? Was that Joseph McCarthy, Tip O'Neill, or Robert Kennedy?
Well, Tip O'Neill is lasted to well after 1968. I don't think it's McCarthy. I think it's Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy is the right answer. OK, Kyle, over to you. Which Labour politician was formerly the General Secretary of the Union of Communication Workers? Ed Balls, Alan Johnson, or Patricia Hewitt?
Well, Ed Balls has had a bit of a rise to stardom within Labour. I've not heard of Alan Johnson or Patricia Hewitt. Based on Ed Balls probably working his way up, I will go for Ed Balls.
Dave, you know?
Alan Johnson.
Alan Johnson.
He was a postman.
Yeah, Alan Johnson. So Dave has a chance to take the round and become an Egghead in the final. That rare thing today. Which free market neoliberal think tank was founded in 1974 by Keith Joseph, Alfred Sherman, and Margaret Thatcher? Is that the Centre for Policy Studies, Demos, or the Smith Institute?
Yeah, I'm not going to hang around with this. I'm going to have to go for Centre for Policy Studies. I'm sure I've heard of Keith Joseph associated with Demos, but all right, Centre for Policy Studies.
Do you know, Carl, if he's got it right?
I don't have any idea, to be honest.
Demos is actually Blairite. It's the sort of left-leaning one, Dave.
All right.
So that was not the answer. Centre for Policy Studies is quite right. Well done, Dave. With your tremendous knowledge, you've got yourself
Jeremy.
into the final round. Sorry, Kyle. Things have been evened up. Game's getting exciting, isn't it? Please, both of you, rejoin your teams. James, give me your assessment of how it's going.
Very well. I think Kyle did well with politics, even though he lost, and Joe was obviously good at geography as well.
And your name, Route 1, we should say it's a football term, isn't it?
Yeah,
For people who don't watch football, what does that mean?
Well, it's a footballing tactic that poor teams use to beat much better teams. Like, you lump the ball forward, hope for the best.
And have you done that yet today?
We've done it once.
Yeah, you got past Lisa. So you've lost a brain, they've lost a brain. Our next subject is sport, which may or may not be good. So...
Should I go sport?
You've got to Will. It's Will.
It's going to be Will. OK. Against which Eggheads?
I think, it's going to be, I think it's going to have to be CJ, isn't it?
Yeah. Does CJ not look sporty today?
He looks great, but he told us before he wasn't very good at sport, so...
he looks good but fragile.
Yeah.
Will from Route 1 versus CJ from the Eggheads. And tennis is OK, snooker?
That's it.
And jumping to conclusions. That's your other sport, yeah. To ensure there's no conferring, please go to the question room now. Sport is the subject, not CJ's strongest. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll stick with a formula and go first, please, Jeremy.
So here we go. Good luck, Will. The European Rugby Champions Cup began in 2014 with teams from how many different nations? 1, 6, or 29?
Yeah, rugby's not a favourite sport of mine. If it's a European Cup, I'd say it's probably not 1. I don't think there's enough countries interested for it to be 29, so without any real confidence, I'll say 6.
6 is correct. CJ, your question. The top goal scorer in the FIFA World Cup is traditionally awarded the golden what? Shin pad, boot, or armband?
Possibly the only football question I might know the answer to. I think, famously won by Gary Lineker in '86 with 6 goals, it's the golden boot.
It is the golden boot. Well done. Will, your question on sport. In 2013, Darren Lehmann was appointed coach of which national cricket team? Sri Lanka, West Indies, or Australia?
Yeah, again, cricket's not particularly strong for me. Darren Lehmann, name rings a bell. I wonder if he was the Australian coach during the Ashes. So, again, without real confidence, I'll say Australia.
Australia is correct. 2 out of 2. OK, CJ, pressure on? You feeling it?
Always.
In May 2014, the boxer Berman Stivern became WBC world champion in which weight class? Featherweight, middleweight, or heavyweight?
Never heard of him. And of course, there are so many different titles around. I mean, I've really got no idea. I'll try middleweight.
Any Eggheads know?
Heavyweight.
Yeah, heavyweight. So, let's see. This is good. Will, if you get this one right, you're in the final. There'll be nothing more to do for you until the final round. Here's your question. The world's first black professional footballer, Arthur Wharton, played in which position? Striker, defender, or goalkeeper?
I love football, and again, like the previous 2 questions, I don't really know. Normally, when I don't have any idea, I go straight down the middle, but for some reason, I'm going to go against that and say striker.
CJ, do you know this is a quizzy one?
No.
No, goalkeeper is the answer. CJ, you have a chance to stay in. Your third question. What was the first tennis Grand Slam tournament to be played under a roof? Was it the US Open, Australian Open, or Wimbledon?
Now, I take that to mean any match within the tournament. I mean, neither the US Open or the Australian Open have a roof, and I remember when the Wimbledon roof was closed, it was announced as the first match ever to take place under a roof. So unless a tournament has been played in the dim and distant past, for some reason indoors, I'll have to go for Wimbledon.
I thought you'd rule Wimbledon out, because I thought Wimbledon would be the most recent one of those. It's the Australian Open, CJ, and tennis is your subject. So you're getting the rub of the green here to mix our sports up a bit. Challenges, Route 1, well done, Will especially. You're in the final round. Another egghead has gone by the board. Both of you please come back and rejoin your teammates. Route 1 is working. You've put the ball in the air, it's dropped into their goal mouth and they're panicking. You've lost 1, they've lost 2. Next subject, film and TV. Who would like this?
You in it, I think. I've got to go for this one.
Yeah, I think you, James.
Jordan?
No, I'm taking this.
Oh, OK, James, the skipper. And it can either be Pat or Kevin, and I know that's not much of a choice.
It's an excellent choice. I'll go with Pat, seeing as he's a fellow software engineer.
Oh, I see, that's your business, right. OK, well, don't get too technical on us. James from Route 1 versus Pat from the Eggheads, 2 software engineers. Please go to the question room. James, I've got to ask you about the day you fell through your uncle's ceiling.
I'd rather not talk about that, thank you very much.
I think you have to.
Well, he left the floorboards out, the lights weren't on. I went to the toilet, I ended up in the front room. Thankfully, nobody else was stood in that area at the time.
And what, were you carrying anything, or...?
A bottle of beer, but I did manage to keep hold of it.
So you just... you landed in the chair downstairs with the bottle of beer still?
Not in the chair, that would have been more impressive.
OK, well, film and TV, and you can choose, James, whether you go first or second.
First, please.
Here we go with your first question. What device is commonly used in filmmaking to help synchronise picture and sound? Is it a clapperboard, a Whistlerboard, or a shouterboard?
Well, it's not a Whistlerboard, it's not a shouterboard, I think it's a clapperboard.
Clapperboard is the right answer. Well done. Still used. How that thing, I mean, I saw one last week being used. It's incredible. Still used. Pat, in which TV show do contestants find themselves in a boardroom at the end of each show? Is it Britain's Got Talent, Strictly Come Dancing, or The Apprentice?
I think that must be when they queue up to await Sir Alan's verdict in The Apprentice.
The Apprentice is quite right. Yeah, not Strictly Come Dancing. James, your question. In what year was the programme Come Dine With Me first broadcast? 1995, 2000, or 2005?
I am a fan of this programme, and I think I could tell you who presents it, but I'm really terrible at years. On the basis that it's definitely been going, I'll say 2005.
2005 is correct. Well done. So, yeah, a good decade. Pat, how many times did Charles Gray play Blofeld in an official James Bond film? Once, twice, or 3 times?
Bond questions are a constant theme in quizzing, but it's a big topic. If I really knew my Bond, I would know how many films featured a Blofeld. I know that I think Telly Savalas played Blofeld once. I think Donald Pleasance played Blofeld. So that means that 2 outings are already taken up. How many more times did Blofeld appear in Bond films? The question is, were there 3 or 4 or 5 Blofeld appearances? I'm going to assume it's just the once, but I could easily be wrong here.
Yeah, it would be easy to go astray here. Once is correct. Diamonds Are Forever is the movie, just once.
However, Charles Gray was in another Bond film. He was in You Only Live Twice, but not as Blofeld. He played a different character.
How strange. Well, a nice chap, or not?
Yeah, he was a colleague of Bond's, but gets assassinated while Bond's talking to him.
Well, that's very unfortunate. OK, so, well done, Pat. You could have gone astray. James, your question. Which of these actors appeared in the early 1980s TV adaptation of Brideshead Revisited? Is it Alec Guinness, Ralph Richardson, or John Gielgud?
1980s period drama isn't really a strong point for me. But for some reason, Alec Guinness is calling out, so I'm going to say Alec Guinness.
Yeah, same kind of generation, all of them, but it's John Gielgud. So, Pat has a chance to take the round and book his place in the final. Here's your third question. Which role did Marlon Brando play in the 1953 screen version of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar? Brutus, Mark Antony, or Caesar?
Marlon Brando. I'm sure he could play any of them. Brutus is the noble Roman who eventually, the worm that turns, starts to view Caesar as a tyrant. That would be a good troubled part for Brando, but he could play any of them. I'll go for Brutus, but he could play any of them.
No, it's Mark Antony.
Oh.
So 2 each, the scores are level, and we now go to sudden death just to make it that bit harder. These questions are not multiple choice, James. Here's your first. Which comic actor was the star of the 1995 film Vampire in Brooklyn?
Vampire in Brooklyn? Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's right. You're good. This is tight. Okay, Pat, to stay in. What is the title of the 1984 film starring Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, and Jennifer Grey about a group of teenagers opposing a Russian invasion of the USA?
I've gone a bit blank, having trouble generating candidates. It'll be something like War Games, but I don't think that it isn't War Games. It's in trouble here. It's not The Big Chill, 1980s. I'll say War Games, but I'm gone. I'm a dead man walking here.
James, do you know?
No.
Eggs?
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn is the name of the film. That was remade, I think, in 2012 as well. Oh, Pat, unusually you have been knocked out, swiftly dispatched by the man with the clapperboard. So, James, well done. You're in the final round. In fact, you guys are doing well here. James and Pat, come back to us. We will play that final. Well, 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 this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So that's Kyle from Route 1. But it's mainly Eggheads, isn't it? Lisa and Pat and CJ, would you please now leave the studio? James, Jordan, Joe and Will, you are playing to win Route 1, £3,000. Kevin and Dave, you're playing for something that money can't really buy, which is the Eggheads' precious reputation. And you've been struggling today as well. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. So, Route 1, the question is, are your 4 brains finally able to inflict defeat on the Eggheads 2? Confident?
Yeah, I think we're quite confident now. It's yeah, Route 1 football's working. It's going to be a giant killing, I think. It'll be the
As Basil Fawlty once said, now for the tricky bit. Would you like to go first or second?
I think we'll be going first, please, Joey.
OK, Jordan and team, general knowledge questions, your first one. The act of telephoning someone is known colloquially as giving them a what? Bell, rattle or klaxon?
We'll agree. Yeah, obviously. Okay. Bell.
Bell is the answer. Well done. Bell is the answer. OK. I'm so glad you got that right. OK, Eggheads, which of these is the title of a single released by Chaz and Dave? Gertshire, Fascia or Yorkshire?
Well, it's not Yorkshire, no.
Yeah, it's Gertshire, isn't it?
Gertshire.
Gertshire.
Never really knew what it meant, but sort of, hello.
Yeah.
OK, so Gertshire's correct, not Yorkshire. Your question now. Popular with teddy boys, what was the DA a type of? Shoe, hairstyle, or dance?
Teddy boys are kind of known for big hair.
Fashion, like 50s, 60s or something.
I think it was a booster. They wear like DA.
What could DA stand for, do you think?
I don't know. No idea.
But I think teddy boys were known for big, like, quiffs, weren't they?
Should we go with
I don't
that
know if
then?
that's definitely right.
Should we say that, John?
Quiffs, yeah. OK, so we'll go hairstyle.
Hairstyle is your answer. None of you has got the DA today. You're quite right, though. It stands for something a little bit impolite. Duck's arse. They can say that's factual. OK, your question. Eggheads, always postpone meetings with time-wasting morons and build a better life by stealing office supplies are the titles of 2 compilations of which comic strip? Doonesbury, If, or Dilbert?
No, Dilbert. Yeah. Well, the one that's very much set in an office environment and plays on all the office stereotypes and types of people is Dilbert. So, Dilbert.
And Dilbert is the correct answer. Well done. OK, so far, not a hair out of place. Third question, do you get this one right, and we may see them start to creak. G.K. Chesterton's poem, The Rolling English Road, contains the lines, a merry road, a mazy road, and such as we did tread, the night we went to where? By way of Beachy Head. Birmingham, Cheltenham, or Tring?
I think Birmingham would be such a...
I can rule out Tring because
it doesn't fit their rhyme schemes. So
I think Birmingham sounds better.
Cheltenham.
Birmingham or Cheltenham.
Birmingham or Cheltenham.
Which one are we going for?
I mean, which is the sort of place you would write about in poetry?
Where's
I think it's Birmingham. I don't know.
Cheltenham's near Gloucester, and it's just
a nicer area than Birmingham, perhaps.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Poem was right about horrible areas.
I have no idea.
But if it's called the English Road.
All right.
Which one?
I don't know. I don't want to pick one. I have no idea. So we'll go with you. We'll go with you, Joe. We'll go Cheltenham.
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham. After some debate, I think we're going to go for Cheltenham.
Cheltenham is your answer. Yeah, because you rule out Tring because it's too short. It doesn't really scan. Is that right? I can see you put your heads in the place where the poet was, and you thought it can't be Tring because it wouldn't have enough syllables. The stinkers, they've given us two words with the same number of syllables then, and I think he was going for the B's. So it's Beachy Head, Birmingham. And I suppose you might think it's not on the way. That's the point. They all got lost. The roads were a maze. OK, so Eggheads, with that rather interesting question, your chance to take the whole contest. After being up against the ropes, you're bouncing back. The Trachtenberg speed system, developed by Yakov Trachtenberg, is a method of performing which of the following? Ice skating turns, mathematical calculations, or violin trills?
Well, I don't think it's anything to do with ice skating. As soon as Jeremy said mathematical calculations, I thought it might be something to do with that. I don't think it's anything to do with ice skating.
Well, the thing is that with mathematical calculations, it does make sense that there's a speed, that there's certain...
Yeah, it was the one that when Jeremy said it, it triggered something.
It does make sense.
But it could, I mean...
It could feasibly...
I don't like the violin trill.
I know, it could feasibly be. Yeah, I mean, we could go on all day, couldn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
I think mathematical calculations sounds logical to me, so...
Not certain on this at all, but we'll go for mathematical calculations.
Mathematical calculations. If you've got this right, you've taken the contest. Do you think they're right here?
Oh, no.
I'd say they're probably right.
Yeah, they were struggling a bit. But the answer is mathematical calculations. So we say, well done, Eggheads. You have won. Route 1, I'm sorry. That happened a lot with the real football games, didn't it? You lumped the ball up, you scored some goals, and they just counter-attacked there. I'm really sorry. They've done what comes naturally to them. They still reign supreme over Quizland. It does mean you won't be going home with the £3,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. But it's been fun seeing you play. Thank you. Eggheads, congratulations. Who will beat you? Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £4,000 says they don't. Till then, goodbye.